Munich. He coached Croatia, great figure. He runs out, Matt, a really young team. We're going to have to learn about some of these names.
Yeah, 5 teenagers in the lineup and 3 teenagers playing in the middle of midfield. This is going to be very interesting to see how they deal with the opposing Juventus, much more mature central midfield. Pjanic, and Shabani and Jiwa, can they hold a real opposing force against 3 much more dominant figures? It'll be really interesting to see the complete contrast between the 2 central midfields of Bayern and Juventus.
We saw Bayern Munich beat Paris Saint-Germain 3-1 on Saturday, including some big roles for some youngsters. Paul Veal at that holding mid was one who really grew into the game in the second half, and they'll be looking for more of the same tonight. Of course, both teams missing some players who are still resting after the World Cup. No Cristiano Ronaldo yet for Juventus. He won't join until just before the Serie A season starts, but Chiellini, Ribéry, and plenty of names you do know.
Yeah, exactly. This has got the makings of a very good game. Look, it's going to be a nice, soft, zippy surface here in Philadelphia. Should be great for attractive passing football, and we know that that's how both teams like to play.
Chris Penso, part of the American officiating crew, in charge of this one. As you can tell, Munich and Juventus to kick off the evening. Chris Penso, part of the American officiating crew, in charge of this one. As you can tell, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, the venue. Chris Penso, the man in charge. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. As we get our first look at Juventus for 2018-2019, the Bianconeri get us underway. Penso, the man in charge. Bayern Munich in red and black on the other side, already 1 game under their belts. A 3-1 win over PSG in the ICC. With Matt Lawrence, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Glad you're with us tonight and throughout the tournament. Bayern Munich, again, a lot of stars, as you would expect, resting from the World Cup. Some of them just getting back to running, some of them still resting. 5 teenagers they run out in the starting lineup, Matt. What nerves, what butterflies must be going through their stomachs on a night like this?
I think it's for a bonus that Bayern Munich have obviously already played PSG. A number of those teenagers have already had a touch in the States. They beat PSG obviously 3-1, and there's a number of good showings from those teenagers. Specifically for me, Paul Veal at number 28 with that mop of ginger hair in the middle of the park, loves to get on the football and is very, very comfortable. Really keeps possession of the ball well. It took him a little while to grow into that game against PSG, but then he really grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, demands the ball at every opportunity.
Joseph Stanisic, one of the teenagers, gets it out wide. Serge Gnabry had an assist in the second half comeback against PSG. They were down 1-0 in that game at the half. Sluggish at times in the first half. This is Johansson, the 17-year-old right back. Javi Martinez, a goal in that comeback. Youngsters, it's a vet, Franck Ribéry, who almost coughed it up there. And they'll go backward to the goalkeeper, Sven Ulreich.
And I think that's very important, Jonathan. It doesn't matter how many teenagers you put out there, you need a little bit of experience out there as well to calm the nerves, as you said, and to talk the players through the game. It's natural for teenagers on the pitch to be a little quieter.
Chance right away, and Ulreich with a big left hand to deny Andrea Favilli a dream debut.
It's a great save from Ulrich, and it's his opportunity here. You see, it's a decent strike from Favilli, a nice height at the near post from Ulrich. You'd expect him to make that save, but this is his opportunity. His second start here in the States, Manuel Neuer obviously hasn't travelled with Bayern Munich, still recovering from the German travesty in the World Cup, and it's up to Ulrich now really to stamp his mark on that number 1 jersey.
First corner kick of the game. It's Pjanic to take it. No problem for the Bayern backline to clear that one away. This is Mattia Perin in goal for Juventus. No Szczesny here in their first contest, and the offside flag is up against Chiellini of all people. There's Niko Kovac, 46-year-old, born and raised in Germany, played his whole career there, but played internationally and played very well for Croatia. He managed Eintracht Frankfurt, who beat Bayern in the Cup final last year, but straight over to take charge of the biggest club in the country.
He has a job on his hands as well, Niko Kovac. Very much up to him to keep this domestic run going of winning Bundesliga titles, but also now needing to progress further in the Champions League as well.
And Matt, that's really the story on both sides. We said 7 straight titles in Italy for Juventus, 6 straight in Germany for Bayern Munich. They're both trying to climb that mountain, that European title that Bayern last got in 2013.
Yeah, domestic success for these two sides has come virtually as easily as putting one foot in front of the other. They've had very little competition. Yes, Juventus had slight competition from Napoli last season, but Bayern Munich, they absolutely sauntered to the Bundesliga title. 21 points they won Bundesliga by last season. And I think at times it becomes so easy for them that they take their foot off the gas slightly.
Joao Cancelo looking for anybody in black and white. Favili gets to it first. Marquisio, and it's cleared away by Paul Veal.
Going back to that Champions League theme, Jonathan, I think success for these two sides now really is only measured in terms of whether they can get to the Champions League final and ultimately win it.
Juve turn it over at the back. Sandro Wagner. Missed touch for Gnabry, cutting in off the right, and it allowed Perin to scoop the ball up unchallenged.
Yeah, just slightly behind Gnabry, but a very poor touch nonetheless. Trying to play out of the back, Juventus didn't work whatsoever. Wagner plays in, Gnabry just slightly behind him onto that left foot, and a very heavy touch. Simple for Perin to come out and collect.
Gnabry was on loan to Hoffenheim last year. 10 goals, 7 assists. Second straight year with 10 goals, and now he gets his first year in a Bayern Munich shirt. He was on loan to Hoffenheim last year. 10 goals, 7 assists. Second straight year with 10 goals. Both teams, we talked about their Champions League failures last year. Both teams knocked out by Real Madrid, and obviously the story of the offseason is Cristiano Ronaldo's move from Real Madrid to Juventus. He's not here tonight. They're not going to see him in preseason. But what does this do for the complexion of European soccer? Is it enough to push Juventus over the top tonight?
You would like to hope that it gets Juventus closer. Will it be enough, Jonathan, to push them to Champions League glory? I'm not sure that it will be. Ronaldo, of course, will be that year older, slightly slower, not quite as dominant maybe in Serie A, which is slightly more defensive in my eyes than La Liga. Will he be that top goal scorer? Juventus haven't had the leading goal scorer in Serie A for a number of seasons now. Every one of those 7 seasons they've won Serie A, they haven't had the leading goal scorer in Serie A. Can Ronaldo provide that in Serie A and then ultimately Champions League?
Gnabry finds Wagner. Left-footed shot was blocked by De Chillo. Franck Ribéry with the right foot. Initial stop by Perin, and Juve able to clear the rebound.
A good strike from Ribéry.
One chance each way in the early going. Favili had the 3rd-minute chance for Juventus that was knocked away. And it was Franck Ribéry getting loose there. We were curious how Juventus would line up at the front. Would Favili play through the middle? Would Bernardeschi play through the middle? I think they've already switched it up a little bit in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think especially being a pre-season game, they have license to rotate around the field. That front line, just as we see Perin with a poor clearance straight into touch with a weaker left foot of his. Just coughing up possession back to Bayern Munich.
And of course course, that's one of the other big points for Juventus. Post Gigi Buffon goalkeeping. They have Wojciech Szczesny available and likely the #1, but it's the 25-year-old Mattia Perin, just acquired from Genoa, who's facing this attack now. Shabani left it. Giroud's shot right into the arms of Perin. Another early stop.
See, as the ball comes back to him, it's a great first touch, meets the ball on the half volley. Almost shins it into the stomach of Perin, though. Would expect to do better, would expect to really test the goalkeeper. Yes, he kept the ball down. Yes, he got it on target. And it needs to be to either side of Perin. A really comfortable save for Perin.
Perin, 25, moved from Genoa, where he had been the starter for the last 5 years. Capped a couple of times for Italy, and of course the goalkeeping position, not just for Juventus, but for Italy, going to open up a little bit as Gigi Buffon moves on to PSG and out of the national team picture, I think.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm never quite sure he's going to retire from Italy, but it's coming.
Yeah, it has to have come right now, I would have thought. We saw Buffon playing for PSG, obviously against Bayern Munich. He looked very shaky. We know it's early on still. We know it is only pre-season, but he had a poor game for a man of his quality. Talking about goalkeepers, you have to give Perin some credit. As you mentioned, a 5-year starter at Genoa. He's come to Juventus. The expectation is that he will be the #2. Szczesny will be the #1. But he's willing to test himself. He's willing to go to Juventus. He himself said in the press conference, I understand I've come to the biggest club in Italy. I understand that Szczesny is the #1, but I am going to compete with him. And it's up to him now. It's up to him to take that chance.
Sven Ulreich right between two players with his distribution there. Turns it back over to Juventus. Speaking of players who took their chance behind a goalkeeping legend, Manuel Neuer missed last season, and Ulreich was more than adequate, at least in Bundesliga play. This one comes out wide for Joao Cancelo. Driving it low, and Ulreich able to hold it after a slight bobble.
They did well there. The cross was fizzed across from Cancelo, and he gathered it well at the near post. Ulreich, as you mentioned, Jonathan, was the fans' supporters' player of the season last season in Bundesliga for Bayern Munich. He had a big pair of boots and gloves to fill, with Manuel Neuer being out for the whole season. Ulreich certainly took his chance.
Shabani, the 19-year-old, and 3 teenagers starting through the middle for Bayern Munich. 5 total on the field. Ribéry wearing the captain's armband. Backward to one of the teenagers, Josip Stanisic. This is Johansson. Bernardeschi trying to control for Juve, and Javi Martinez with a great pass out of trouble to find Ribéry. Taking the Shio. Has to drop it off for the left back, Bernat. Johansson, the youngest on the field, 17. Finds Paul Villa with that left foot. He tagged it, but hit it over the top. And it took a deflection, corner kick coming for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and that's the confidence of Villa as well. He doesn't mind taking a strike. Just a yard over the crossbar, did take a deflection. And this is where Bayern Munich can be dangerous. They were very dangerous from corners against PSG. Granted, Robben was on the field. Robben was often hitting in swinging corners into the penalty area and really troubling PSG. The likes of Martinez and Wagner very dominant in the air.
This is the 23-year-old Gnabry to deliver. Came all the way through to Javi Martinez a little bit. Fortunately, couldn't get a clean shot off. Ribéry curling it. Perin had to be alert.
And again, I can talk of the dominance of Martinez and Wagner in the air as much as I want, but the delivery has to be there. The delivery there from Gnabry was very poor.
To Tonight, the International Champions Cup continues with Roma and Tottenham at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN2. And on ESPN at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, AC Milan against Manchester United from StubHub Center in Carson, California. Both matches available streaming live on the ESPN app. You can watch them both at the same time, anywhere you go. The 6th annual International Champions Cup is presented by Heineken. 5 games on tap tonight as part of more than 30 in this tournament. Wagner found some space there, lays it off for Shabani. Tries to play a 1-2. Chiellini got there. Bernat and Ribéry exchange passes now. Everybody behind the ball for Juventus trying to find that organization. Daniele Rugani won that header. This is the left back Alexandro stepping forward and winning a free kick.
Not quite a quarter of an hour into the game, Bayern Munich much the dominant team. This is the free kick. Won by Alexandro. It's a definite free kick. Decent decision from Chris Penso there. He's in a good position, the American referee Penso. I think it's apparent that Bayern Munich have already had one friendly on this tour of the US. Juventus have only been in the country a couple of days. I think that's apparent. It's going to take them a little while to play themselves into this tour and into this game specifically.
Site for this one. No score yet between Juventus and Bayern Munich. 15th minute of the International Champions Cup. These teams very different styles of soaking up the local culture as that one turns over, and it is going to be a free kick. The 17-year-old Johansson caught by, looked like Joao Cancelo, and concedes the free kick.
He's played into a little bit of trouble there with Johansson. I don't think he realised he had a man on his back. It's a definite free kick, and I think in a competitive game that would have been a yellow card as well from Chris Penso. Sensible referee, and we want to keep 11 on the park here this evening. Not a malicious challenge from Johansson, just wasn't quite aware of what was going on around him.
Pjanic lines it up. 16th minute. He's shooting. It's punched away by Ulreich. And we'll see if Bayern can counter. Ribéry slowed down by Joao Cancelo, now taken down by Chiellini. And that will be a yellow card for the Juve vet.
Well, Chiellini can thank me for that one. I tempted fate there, saying that Chris Penso was going to keep the cards in his pocket. He didn't on this occasion. A couple of nibbles at Frank Ribéry, and Chiellini comes in, and that's really quite a poor challenge. No attempt from on the football whatsoever. You can see the reaction of Ribéry. He wasn't happy with that one whatsoever.
Don't want to get Ribéry fired up, even in pre-season.
I think Chiellini can probably handle himself, whether it's Frank Ribéry or not. But it's good to see that competitive edge, even in what we can consider a pre-season friendly. Both teams, of course, have come here for a victory. Yes, it's a fitness exercise. Yes, they're working their way into pre-season towards the beginning of their domestic seasons.
That's all ball, or at least enough of the ball, I should say, on the tackle for no foul to be called. Bernardeschi under pressure will just take the throw in for Juventus. Juventus, by contrast, based in New Jersey. Their second game is in New Jersey, training at the Pingree School in northern New Jersey, which is where Italy once trained during the World Cup. And they took Amtrak to get to the game today. Went from Metro Park in New Jersey to 30th Street Station in Philly. kind of old school travel for this one.
It's getting a little bit feisty now in the middle of the park. Not a great challenge there from Veal on Marchisio. Chris Penso starting to have his hands full out there. Chiellini just arguing with the referee, saying what's different from my challenge to his. I picked up a yellow card just moments ago. Chris Penso having none of it though.
Sloppy touch by Cancelo, who's on the left at the moment with Bernardeschi on the right. You mentioned the heavy price tag for Joao Cancelo. 24-year-old who came up with Benfica but made his name at Valencia and got his feet wet in Serie A last year with Inter Milan.
Yeah, he had a good season with Inter Milan as well, scored a couple of goals as well in his time at Inter. Yes, he is capable of playing in a right midfield, a right wing role. I think he's slightly more comfortable as a fullback, Cancelo.
No Higuain, no Dybala, no Mandzukic, no Matuidi, no Cuadrado. There's some attacking options missing for Juventus, so Cancelo pushed higher up the field tonight.
And again, this is a fitness exercise. He'll be happy to go up and down that right flank.
Or left.
Or left, happy to get some minutes under his belt as well.
Here's Veal and Ribéry in the center circle. Ribéry now 35, his 12th year with Bayern Munich. No longer playing for France, obviously. Javi Martinez, 29 years old, I should say, not his number. Miscommunication between Gnabry and Johansson. The International Champions Cup, presented by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly. And in part by One a Day with Nature's Medley. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM. Kicking off the International Champions Cup slate tonight in Philadelphia from Lincoln Financial Field. 21st minute. Juventus and Bayern Munich scoreless so far, and that long switch just runs out of the reach for a Bayern goal kick.
Yeah, just skipped off this wet surface here. Marchisio just got the wrong side of young fullback Ryan Johansson. Not quite sure that Johansson was fully aware of where Marchisio was. Hadn't got his body opened up. Far too square. Had his eye fully on the ball and not on his opponent. Quite lucky in the end that it skipped out for a goal kick to Bayern.
Had been a backup for some 55 Bundesliga games, had only played 6 before last year. He wound up playing 29 in the league, 47 in all competitions. Playing time like he had never had, and for the most part, again, made the most of it. Obviously high profile blunder in the Champions League, and as we talked about, sometimes that's the bigger measuring stick.
Yeah, it certainly is. That's when, you know, players really stand up and be counted. The bigger name players like Neuer previously hasn't made that many high-profile errors for Bayern Munich. But you have to give Ulreich some credit, though. It is tough. It's not the physical fatigue of playing in goal. It's more the mental fatigue. And for somebody not used to be playing 10s, 20s, 30s of games in a season, I think Ulreich was very good last season. Just when it mattered in those big games, he sometimes slipped up. As you point out, Jonathan, that is the measure of a big-time player, not making mistakes when it really counts.
Daniele Rugani able to shield that one out. He's been linked with Chelsea among all the many, many transfer rumors that are out there. Maybe the most notable involving these teams as AC Milan sending Leonardo Bonucci back to Juventus, along with 50 or 60 million euros. sounds like monopoly money at this point, in exchange for Gonzalo Higuain. And Milan want the defender Mattia Caldara, who's not on the field at the moment. And Juventus have said he's unsellable for us. Now that was Johansson again put in a tough spot, again unaware of a player coming in behind him. He and Cancelo with a clash of boots, no foul call, and young Ryan Johansson has come off the worse for wear.
He certainly felt that one, Johansson. I think he actually realised that Cancelo was there. He just dithered slightly on the ball, tries to clip it just over the head of Cancelo, but it was a good move in from Cancelo. I think he actually won the ball first. You can see there, he clearly wins the ball first, and it's the contact from Johansson that sends Cancelo tumbling to the turf.
Sportingly returned to Bayern Munich, but you don't get the free kick that maybe could have been awarded there.
Yeah, it certainly should have been awarded by Chmpions, so he missed that one.
A couple of nervy moments for 17-year-old Ryan Johansson, born in Luxembourg to one parent from Sweden, one from Ireland. Plays internationally right now for Luxembourg. On the other side of the field, Pjanic in the middle for Juventus. He played for Luxembourg as an under-17 player before switching his allegiance ultimately over to Bosnia.
Yeah, before I'm too quick to highlight the poor tendencies of Johansson, certainly at the right-back position at the moment. Quite often he plays in midfield, Jonathan. We mustn't forget he's 17 years of age as well, very tender age, to be coming up against the likes of whether it be Cancelo or whether it be Bernardeschi. Players much more experienced than he is.
Bayern Munich with more than 70% of the possession officially through the first 24 minutes of this one. 2 saves so far for Pekan in the Juventus goal. 1 stop for Ulreich, manning Bayern Munich's net. Stanisic, outpaced by Timothy Weah, who wouldn't be, on PSG's goal in the first half on Saturday in Klagenfurt, Austria. This is Shabani looking for Sandro Wagner. Gnabry into the penalty area, lets loose with the right foot, punched over for another corner.
It's great hold-up play from Wagner. Once again, he does that so well for Bayern Munich. It's a good strike from Gnabry. Again, a nice height for Pekan. Easy just to punch it over the crossbar. Full of confidence at the moment, Gnabry.
He's let himself down with both corner kick deliveries. Pjanic, who we just talked about, sends this one long. And Ulreich is out there, as Bayern keepers are so wont to do.
Exactly. He's learnt that sweeper keeper role from the best in Manuel Neuer, obviously. It's good positioning from Ulreich. Way outside his 18-yard box, just sweeping up behind that Bayern Munich defence.
Juan Bernat, another Valencia product, manning left back for Bayern tonight. Cancelo brings in Alexandro with the left foot into the outside netting, off the fists of Ulreich for a corner kick.
It's 2-on-1 on Johansson. He gets no help whatsoever, nothing he can do about this. The strike from Sandro has to go across the goalkeeper though. He aims almost near post, straight down the throat of Ulreich in the end, and a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. Sandro has to be hitting that hard and low towards the far post.
Second corner kick for Juventus. Pjanic's delivery. Chiellini's the target. Shabani got it up in the air for the hands of Ulreich. And he mishit that one. You can hear him cry out in frustration. Brings in Alexandro with the left foot. kick.
It just forces the free kick as well. This is the time to make mistakes, though, whether you're Bernardeschi, whether you're Ulrich, the goalkeeper for Bayern Munich. It's the time to try things, it's the time to make mistakes, it's the time to gain fitness pre-season. I think either manager will be massively worried about the scoreline. It's all about the fitness levels and players listening to the tactical instructions of both coaches. Can they follow a tactical plan? That's the question to the players.
Here's Ribéry with the left foot, pair in a one-handed punch. Veal played it back in, not cleared yet. And Juve get it away. We talked, Matt.